Sorry about that last video. It cut off because apparently I didn't have enough memory left in my phone. So I guess that puts us at about almost this last December, January. We kind of discussed it and decided that we wanted to use some of the money from our tax return to go ahead and begin the fertility treatment. So I was really excited about that because I just really felt like it was a new year and a new chapter of our lives. You know, my hopes were up more than they have been in the last few months. So I went ahead and called the doctor and told her that I was ready to start the treatments, and I was supposed to call whenever I started my next period. Well, in between all of this, I needed to get my yearly done with my OB. So I went ahead and did that in December. And then the test results came back that I had abnormal cells. I guess more abnormal than what it normally is, because I usually did have abnormal pap smears. But this one was actually bad enough to where I needed to go in to do a colposcopy. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's basically where they need to go in and they put a vinegar solution on the outside of your cervix. If anything turns white, then that's where they need to go ahead and take a biopsy and send it off to the lab just to check and make sure that everything looks and tests out okay. So I went ahead and had the colposcopy done back in December, right after I got my results. And they told me it would take, 2 weeks or so to get the results back from that. So, at that point I wasn't really that nervous or scared. I was just glad that they caught it when they did. So then the test results came back from my biopsy, and it didn't look very good. She took 2 different samples. I guess there's certain degrees that they can be. The first one she took out was a level 1, which would normally be okay. They just need to monitor it and have your yearly done, stuff like that. The other biopsy she did, it came back as a level 3, which is precancerous. So that meant that she said I needed to come back in and get a leep procedure, which means that they would have to put me under and take a piece out of my cervix, the piece that was abnormal, I'm guessing. So I went ahead and did that. That was January 29th, a few weeks ago. Which, everything was fine. They gave me propofol, which was great. I was out, like a light. I didn't remember anything. I didn't feel anything, which is great. After that, I had a little bit of cramping. It kind of felt like I had a urinary tract infection, but it seemed like everything was normal right afterwards. So then a few weeks went by, and my period started. It started on February the 8th. I had some mild cramping, normal bleeding, nothing out of the ordinary. On the 12th, it seemed like it just kind of tapered off finally, that my period was done. Of course, I wasn't able to use tampons. I had to use pads, which, I haven't done that since the 8th grade. So that was just kind of traumatizing, I guess. But then on the 13th, I wore a pad just in case that morning, in case it wasn't done yet. And it definitely wasn't. But on that particular day, I was just, I don't mean to gross anybody out, but it was just gushing out. And by mid-afternoon, I had changed the pad every hour to every half hour. And I started just feeling really just tired and lethargic, kind of dizzy, not myself. So I called my OB and kind of told her what was going on, and she was like, yeah, that's not normal. You need to come in as soon as possible. So, of course, by that time the office was going to be closed by the time that I got there, so I had to go ahead and go to the ER, Texas Women's Hospital. So glad that I went there. The doctors there were great. They knew exactly what to do. It turns out that my cervix was bleeding from the incisions, not from my, normal period. So it was really good that I went in. The doctor said that if I would have waited overnight, the blood loss could have been, even more, and that would really be, a health concern. So he was able to use silver nitrate to stop all of the bleeding, and I didn't have to stay at the hospital. He went ahead and, let me go that same evening. Told me, basically, go home, take it easy, don't go to work tomorrow. So, along with all the work I'd already missed with everything, now I had to deal with this. So then the next day he told me I needed to go in and see my OB, get checked out and everything, which I did. She said everything looked, fine. There was no new areas of bleeding anymore. So I was so glad that I finally got that under control. And it seems like throughout this whole thing, it's been emotional anyway, just going through everything, but it seems like my hormones have just been all messed up since the sleep procedure. I've had some weight gain. I've had, extra spots on my face of acne that I don't normally have. Really, really bad, like, mood swings. It's like someone will ask me how I'm doing and I just start bawling. It's like there's just a trigger there, just waiting to be set off, and so I know a lot of it, probably has to be messing with my hormones a little bit. So now I have to wait for my body to completely heal before I start and go back to, doing the fertility treatment again. I guess I will post another video. I have my 4-week follow-up on March 3rd for the leep procedure. Hopefully the doctor will clear me, to go ahead and continue with fertility treatment, depending on how healed, my cervix is and how everything looks. I've heard that, sometimes depending on how much they end up taking out, that the cervix will need to be stitched to prevent miscarriages or not being able to carry the baby to full term. So, with that being said, I'm trying to remain hopeful and keep my spirits up. So I will post another video, hopefully, on the day that I go back on my follow-up on March 3rd. And again, I just hope that by me posting these videos that someone else out there who's going through these same experiences will be able to relate, and this may be able to, at least let them know what to expect going through this whole process. So until March 3rd, I will see you then.